Morning, it's Monday and we're just over an hour and a half into a 2.5 hour journey across country to the northeast coast to go and look at this 14 tonner that won't start. So I've got a start motor in the back, I've got some relays and bits and pieces like that, so we'll go and see what it's doing. Apparently it'll not start more often than it will start, so it is slightly intermittent. I'm just hoping that when I get there the fault is present, because once I've been at it today, the machine's getting collected and it's going away off to an island just off the coast of Scotland, so I could do without a return visit in that direction. So pressure is on. But yeah, the weather's good, it's nice and dry, it's cold, it's only about 5 degrees today, so it's made for a nice journey. Over the weekend I got myself some, what was it called, Auto Glim Magma. That is some magic stuff. It was to shift the remember a couple of weeks ago I was complaining about grinding marks on the side of the van. So I got some of that stuff and sprayed it on, and it kind of I was a bit worried at first. It sort of, the whole side of the van went bright purple, but it seems to have shifted it, so that was a good shout. I'm sure somebody recommended that or something similar anyway. So yeah, just sprayed it on and then pressure washed it off. So while I was at it, I gave the van a right good cleaned all my windows, washed it down, and sparkling again, so it is. Yeah, right, I'll carry on up the road, and 49 minutes left of the journey, so still a bit of a chunk to go yet, like. But yeah, I'll see you over there. So let's have a look. A quick look in this battery box here first. See if we can't just see anything that isn't amiss before we try and start it. So that's the new relay that they've put on. And they're saying that they have to join those two wires together to get it to do it, to get it to work. So is this wire here pulling this relay in properly? Is it earthing? Is that a bit green, that wire there, look? We'll see. Observe the symptoms from the cab. Let everything boot up as it should. So the cab comes on, that's alright. We'll just check battery voltage. Double check, monitoring. Come on. Battery voltage is 24.5 volts. So that's good. I'll keep an eye on that and we'll try and crank it, see what happens. Dead. Well, not dead, but it won't. It's not turning over. So what I might do with that little green wire there that I've just spotted, I'll just put a quick wire across to an earthing point, see if it'll turn over then. That hasn't made any difference. I'll grab my multimeter now and just check that I'm getting power to pull this relay in, because I can't hear anything clicking when I go to click it over. So that's the next job. So I'm not getting a live from the ignition when I go to start it. That isn't coming live, so it's not pulling that contact in and basically joining those two wires together to send power to the exciter wire on the starter motor. So I'll need to jump in the van, pull up a wire in schematic and see where that wire comes from. There'll be another relay in the cab, I would imagine, that feeds that, so I'll have a look. So having looked at the schematic, that yellow wire here comes from starter relay 1. Starter relay 1 is that one there. So I'll check to see if that clicks first, and then go from there. If it does, that'd be a good result, because then I know it's a broken wire between here and behind that cover over there, so I can, worst case, run my own wire in if I need to. But it'd be nice to try and find the break. So I'll have a look at this now. So I've done a continuity test between that yellow wire coming out of that relay, which goes to the heavier relay around there. I've got continuity, so with no resistance, so I know that that wire from there out of the cab is sound. So I need to check power now, to see if I'm getting a feed to pull this relay in to allow power to go into it. So in here, this is my yellow wire, this first pin here. So I've got continuity through at the back with that. This is the wire from the ignition, essentially, that it's jumping across to when this relay pulls in. This wire here is the live wire that pulls the relay in, and that one there, which is the black and white wire, should be earthing to allow the relay to pull in to send power down the yellow line. But I've got no earth. It doesn't seem to be pulling an earth across. So I'm going to go and see where that goes, because I'm not sure if that one comes from the EPOS, which is this. I'll have a look. So it's coming from wire 85, which is black with a white tracer, and that's coming from the start controller, which is underneath the EPOS. I did pick up a box that said start controller on it, believe it or not. Where's that at? Controller starter. Whether that fits this machine, I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look in the parts. But what I'll do is I'll pull the EPOS out of the way, because it sits underneath the EPOS, and see if it's got the same part number with a bit of luck. Yeah, because that's what's going to earth it. That's what's going to give it the earth. So I've got, when I turn my ignition on, number 86 comes live, number 87 comes live. I just need this to earth to pull this switch down to allow power to go to this start relay, to then pull that power down to then send a power to the starter motor. Does that make sense? It does in my head. The part number on a one that I grabbed up off the shelf, there was only one, and I've never ever changed one of these start controllers before, but it has got a different part number. Although the part looks the same, it is a different part number. So I'll just phone stores, get them to check the part number fitted to this hasn't been superseded by what I've got on the van. It may be that there's a different, that box will start a different machine in a different sequence, power different things up, etc. So we're better off double checking on this one. So a brief phone call. I've learnt that that part number on there changes to this part number that I've got in the bag, so that's only good news. What I'm just going to do first though is check the wiring in here is getting lives and earths, etc. as it should, before I plug the new one in, because I don't want it to be a wire shorted out that's caused that to go, and then plug that one in and bust that one as well. So I'm just going to double check my wiring into there first before we plug the new one in and start the machine, and everybody's a winner. It's lovely out here though. Let's see. Yeah, check the wiring out. Everything seems to be okay. So we'll just have to find out, won't we? Put that relay back in. That's all back to how it should be. Yeah, we'll either turn it on and we'll hear a fizz and a buzz and that thing will go pop. I've never ever changed, but I can't. Right, anyway. Yeah, we'll try it then. Try it. See what happens. Let that screen. I always like to let the dashes do the thing before I... No, nothing. Oh, wait. I have to plug that in. Try again. Man. Have to key off again. Ooh, the suspense, I tell you. Ready? It's running. Happy days. And it stops too. Goodness me. I've never ever changed one of those, and it was only by chance that I spotted it as I was gathering up the starter motor for this machine. What else did I grab? I grabbed one of those relays, those big heavy relays at the back there as well, because I've had bother with them. Never ever had problems with the start controller. Ever. And it was only because it was there that I grabbed it. Well, that is a result. I've come all this way and I don't need to order any parts for it. Happy days. Well, I'll put this cab back together, have a spot of lunch and head back through to Carlisle. It's felt like a long way to come for that, but there you go. It's literally, I turned up here at 11:30 and it's just after 12:15 now. Pat on the back. It's a good start to the week. Can't believe it. Right. Yep, I'll tidy all this up and head back through to Carlisle. So as I put this back together, what I was thinking would be wrong with it would be broken wire in here perhaps, or from here in the cab. Because when I was talking to the customer, he'd already tried a new start relay. He'd already been in the back of the cab and swapped those yellow relays about to try and get it to start. He also mentioned that he's pulled the pulled this apart and got to the ignition barrel and checked powers and feeds in there, and he said everything was okay in there. So yeah, I was fully expecting a wiring fault, and to be honest with you, when I was talking to him on the phone, I'd completely forgotten about the start controller. So yeah, not being bad. I mean, you can well imagine something's nibbled through a wire when you see the insulation foam here's had a bit of a chewing off some sort of a rodent. But yeah, that's it all put back together in there. I'll just put the back of this cab together now. So it's 1:15. I've just had my lunch. I'll head away back down to Carlisle now. We'll be 2.5 hours down there, so what'll that be? 3:45. Can't think of what else that I've got on that'll fit into that time gap, so probably leave it at that for today. A bit of a short video, but as you know, Mondays can be. Fully expected to be at that job a lot longer than I was. I thought I was going to have broken wire somewhere to try and chase out, but it's gone rather well, hasn't it? So a bit of a contrast from the previous video, which I saw the comments coming before I uploaded that video. I thought there'd be plenty saying about plumbing designers designing machines and how they don't think of the engineer. But anyway, there we go. Right, thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed the video, give it a like and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. See you again.